Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
How
Yeah,
was
welcome to
your weekend, Dawn?
Mondays. Oh
So-
yeah, how was your weekend, Don?
Oh, it was absolutely fabulous. We had a houseboat birthday party for Piper's 7th birthday. And then we got together with a nephew that also lives down here and has a new baby. And so it was really very terrific, very fun filled.
That sounds great.
It sounds like
It's
a big
hot,
Father's
it's hot,
Day.
and it's very, very humid here.
Yes.
Where are you?
Well,
I'm in Georgia.
you missed the heat wave here, Don. Dry heat, so different than your humidity that you have in Georgia. But
All right.
we had some
And
record-breaking heat out here.
100 and some is still 100 and some.
Yeah, yeah. I
Pretty-
mean, we were talking with Ben and in Sacramento, and Tim, another camp person who's in Fresno, and they were all kind of bragging about their triple digits, that they were having, through our virtual camp week. So,
Bragging.
How did virtual camp week go?
it was great. We know everyone's real zoomed out and whatnot, but the folks that participated, it was really fun to see and connect with the kiddos and whatnot. Even a couple new kids that will be going to their first year of camp next year. So we had some kids that kind of joined, looking forward to a future camp, and that was fun. They were sharing their talents and their camp T-shirts, and we were introducing a new thing next year, Don. If you don't know about this, and sharing it with the community that maybe wasn't a part of the camp group, is we're going to introduce like patches. So you can kind of picture the Boy Scout or Girl Scout system, but you know, yeah, so the patches. So we're gonna have, hey, I did the polar swim every day. I got up at 7 a.m. and I jumped in that pool and swam every day. I'm gonna get the polar bear patch, or hey, I got the big stick. I'm gonna get the big stick patch, and whatnot. I learned to self-infuse while at camp. So we'll have patches throughout the week. But one of the fun things was the kids got to design and suggest a patch. That was part of the fun, and seeing the kids' creativity, of doing arts and crafts patches or whatnot. We have some talented kids in our community. They were artistic. They drew out the patch. They got to suggest how you earn it, and whatnot. And we have some very charismatic kids, showing off their talents and whatnot. So it was a very fun week, and stuff. And there's definitely a lot of fun videos that people can still see if you want to see them on our website or whatnot. So definitely people can catch up a little bit on some of the fun that the directors and team put together. But it was fun. But honestly, I mean,
What a great
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did a lot of goose chase elements of it, but really we just can't wait to be back in person next year. However we can figure out how to do that, right? I know there's going to be a lot of work on the infirmary and whatnot, and a lot of planning on our end to make sure that it's safe and doable for everybody moving into 2022. But we're ready to start on that process. The whole time we were just aching to get to that space. So we're looking forward to the Age of Pharaohs, our theme for 2022. And we're going to have some fun cryptic messages that you can try to solve ahead of time and already earn the code breakers patch, but when you show up at camp in 2022, by doing the cryptic messages that we'll release clues to once every month leading up to camps, starting in July.
Hi, Andrea.
And John's phone's ringing. This is great. This is perfect live video. Welcome, Andrea.
Well, Brian, I love that you guys are talking about camp, because really that's one of the reasons why we asked Dawn to come on, was to speak about her success with fundraising using emails. And you say, how does that connect? Well, we fundraise for camp, and it's one of our largest expenses, and Dawn really helps us meet that end goal every year. So, Dawn, can you share with us how you create that magic with your emails?
Well, I think I'll start out by saying it's all in the numbers. The more messages you send out, the more responses you're going to get. And I know some time ago, I felt a little bit awkward about, you know, to put it the way some people feel about it, about doing it, is to say, I felt weird sending people an email asking for money until I went to a national fundraising retreat. And one of the things that they told us is that most people in their heart of hearts do not always feel that they give enough to charitable causes. So this is most people, not everybody. And that when you ask somebody to make a modest donation, you're giving them the opportunity to feel good about themselves. And so that's the message that I always have in the back of my mind. And we've been the #1 family fundraising group for a number of years now. And I always get surprises. Some people I only send messages to every other year, and some I send every year. And when I get new ones, I send those too. But I follow the advice that's given in some of the helpful tips that we get when as fundraisers. And I keep my messages short, sweet, and to the point. Some of the ones that National sends us as examples are very, they're too wordy, but I usually keep it very short and sweet. And one of the stories that I'm happy to share is that I retired from my company in 2001. We have kind of an alumni group. We don't meet in person, but we have this alumni group, and we keep in touch a little on Facebook and other things. So I've been sending out these fundraising things for more than a dozen years. And last year, I was absolutely thrilled to receive a $2,500 donation from a person that I have not personally seen, but I remember him. I'm sure he remembers me. And that was my biggest surprise donation. Other than that, my donations consist of anywhere from $25, $40, $75, or $100 is what is most typical. But I typically send out about 300 emails, and I take my attitude is I also receive emails from people and make donations myself. But my attitude is if somebody doesn't want to participate, they just bypass the email. And I've never had anybody ask me, please don't send me those emails, either in person or by email. And I think it's fair to say that most people don't mind being asked, even if they don't want to contribute. But people are amazingly generous, and we won't know unless we actually ask them. So I strongly encourage people, dig deep into your email, your husband's email, your wife's email, your partner's email, your kids' emails, dig deep and just go ahead and ask. And the other thing that I do is I do send one follow-up, and I don't send a second or a third, but I do send one follow-up between 1 and 2 weeks from the time I first ask. I think you'll find that the majority of contributions that you get tend to come in early, relatively early, within say 5 days after you send out your emails.
Wow.
Anybody have any questions of successes or challenges or anything they want to share with email fundraising? Oh, and I also do Facebook.
I just feel really inspired after listening to that. I feel like you could teach a class. That was sort of like a little mini master class there. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.
Well, you know, speaking of the camp promotion and the programs. Another one is Bee Leaders. And Brian, I know that there's some stuff coming up with that. Do you want to share?
Sure. We're excited. There's going to be this cool program coming up here at the beginning of August. We're joining the San Diego chapter, the Hawaii chapter, the Nevada chapter, and the Nebraska chapter, and doing a teen program, across those states and whatnot. So teens from all of those areas, including our own, are going to be able to get together and go through some fun Gut Monkey stuff. Which is, if you're not familiar with Gut Monkey, they're an awesome program that works with, camps across the nation. They also host their own camp in Oregon every year. So I know some of our kids have gone to Gut Monkey's Oregon camp and met, Big Dog and, some of the camp name people up there, whatnot, that are great. So highly recommend it. Can't wait. It's going to be August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And our registration will be open this week. When you see our email go out, it'll be ready. I was actually plugging the last little bits of it into our back end this morning. So it'll be ready sometime this week, probably, on our Wednesday email or whatnot, it'll be out. So stay tuned for that and check it out. And yeah, definitely recommend all of our teens who are just missing their peers, out there in the community to check it out. Have some fun, get a lot of, hangout time, meet some new people from across the country and whatnot. So that'll be pretty cool. And yeah, looking forward to that in August.
Well, Brian, thanks for sharing about that because I know that that programming for that age group is so important, and we're really working to make sure that they're supported. So, and you mentioned registration, and I wanted to loop Andrea in here because there's an event coming up that it's really important that people register for, called El Gran Secreto.
or whatever our pronunciation is going to be for those of us who are non-Spanish speakers. Thanks, Ash. Just wanted to remind you, and I'll keep on reminding you, that we have this program that we are participating in that is being facilitated by HFA, the Hemophilia Federation of America. We also are participating with a couple of other chapters, so the Oregon chapter, as well as the Central California chapter, for this Spanish language program. We've heard you loud and clear, our Spanish speaking members of the community. We want you to feel comfortable in this program, and this is a Spanish language only program. So in other words, we're not having any interpreters for this. So it's not something that you can, kind of wing your way through. You do need to be, hopefully a native Spanish speaker for this. It's El Gran Secreto. It is occurring on Friday, July 23rd. It's about an hour and a half. We ask this. The registration is open as of today. We ask that you be a fluent Spanish speaker, that it is going to be on Zoom. So you do need to not have a black screen on Zoom. You need to participate. So we need to see your face. We need to hear your voice, because you're going to be broken out with other folks and you are trying to solve a mystery. So we are asking also that you be at least 12 years of age. We would ask if it's a 12-year-old that the child be with their parent or guardian. It is a very fun program. I have participated in the English version. It's awesome. The registration is open. Please don't feel intimidated by it. Just go ahead, register. Every household will get a little stipend for snacks after. So we'll be sending those out to those who have participated. And we really would like to see as many folks there as possible. We definitely want to have more folks than Oregon or Central California, but know that you're all going to be joined together and you're going to be working on this. We also are going to have one of our local Spanish speakers who is going to kind of help with the facilitation of this along with HFA. So it's really cool. Definitely go for it, and registration's open today.
Wow, that sounds like fun. You mentioned some other foundations, and I don't know if this has been officially announced, but we were one of the top walks in the nation, and I think it would be fun, Andrea, if you shared a little bit about what this year's walk is going to bring.
Absolutely. As we've said, the walk part's kind of the fun at the end of the fundraising, but we're actually planning a very special program for Sunday, August 29th. But even before that, we're really looking to the community to help us with the fundraising aspect of this. And, as Dawn Pollard was saying, she has kind of taken this to a new level as far as emails going out and following up with folks. But I also know personally that oftentimes you get contributions from folks that you never thought you would get contributions from. And it's just a matter of asking. And what I have said in other organizations that I've been a part of, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So you should at least try to ask. We are here to help you. So if you would like to join a team that's already established or start a new team, or you're just kind of like, I'd like to do something to help, I just don't know how to do it, please contact us. We are here to help you. And then, as I said, coming up on August 29th, we are planning something very special, and it's not just occurring on the 29th. We're going to probably have it stretch out the week before, maybe week and a half before. We're going to have lots of fun activities and goose chase missions that you can do, and ways that you can kind of earn some funds, some additional funds, and I mean, some pretty significant amounts of money. So we absolutely are going to ask that you join us and help us to help you as the community and to take part in our walk.
And Andrea, may I add, this year our walk has taken on a new sense of urgency because we have not been able to do any of the in-person fundraisers that we so sorely depend on to keep this foundation going. I hope that everybody recognizes whenever we get together at our board meetings, on our Facebook Live events, on Zoom calls, we are always talking about what programs are in the hopper. We just finished virtual camp. We're coming up on emerging therapies. We've got this HFA Spanish speaker program. We've got B leaders. We've got the walk coming up. We've got so many things. And we do all of that to be able to keep the foundation moving forward. So I remember the very first time I tried to get my own brother to do some fundraising. And he pretty much tried to write me off by saying, I'm just not comfortable asking people for money. And I kind of sat him down and showed him what our calendar looked like and how many things we were doing, large and small, that really benefited the bleeding disorder community. So I really ask everybody to get out of our comfort zones a little, and do the best that we can do to make this a really good walk so that we can make sure that the foundation is here next year and thereafter. I'll also add to what Ashley said about camp. Our camp serves over 100 people, and that includes our campers and all of our junior staff. And the cost of camp is approximately $1,500 per camper. It's a lot of money. It's the biggest thing that we do. So again, sometimes, when you're a nonprofit, that's what you do. That's how you survive. If it feels a little bit sometimes like, we have our hands out, at least it's for a very, very, very good cause. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of not having live events, we actually have 2 coming up. I'm really excited to tell everybody, and I know we're way over on time. I have no idea if anybody's going to be watching at 19 minutes in, but if you're still here, look forward to a dinner in Fresno on July 19th, presented by Bayer, and you can learn about Jivvy at that dinner. And then a lunch in Monterey on August 8th, also presented by Jivvy, and by Bayer, and you can learn about Jivvy. at that event. And you can register for all of our events on hemofoundation.org events. Please register for Emerging Therapies, and we've got a Blood Brotherhood event coming up where, let's see, we have Dr. Juliana Bloom, Coping with Change Post-Pandemic. So Mosey Williams, our board member, MSW, will facilitate that, but it's a really timely topic for our Blood Brothers. It's July 31st at 1 o'clock. Did I cover everything, and did I miss anything?
You know, we have so many events. Actually, I'm sure we could be like, and Familia de Sangre registration, and so on and so on. You know, whatnot. We can always add more. But you know, truly, like you said, Ash, going to hemofoundation.org, checking out the events page there, you can see everything that's upcoming. And or if you're like, hey, I feel like this usually happens at this time of year, and I don't see it, you know, give us a call, reach out. You know, we're available to answer your questions and get you connected to the places you would like to be.
Okay. Well,
Hey, thank you.
All right.
Guys, buds up.